So we've talked about how to optimize your cost per purchase. We've talked about your ad creatives. We've even talked about our A to Z guide on how to make sure our paid ads don't lose you money. But today we're talking about one of the most overlooked things that 95% of e-commerce founders and operators overlook on a daily basis, which can sometimes be the one reason why they're not scaling as much as they could be or should be. And that one reason is merchandising strategy. Now, I've mentioned this before, but what is it? Who is it? How do you do it? What does it mean? And once you actually know it, what action steps can you take right after watching this video to make more profits for your brand today? Welcome back everyone to another video. My name is Arsalan, founder of AKM-Media, where we help scale, grow, and invest in the DTC brands that we love. Now today, it's all about how to merchandise your brand, your products, and what it actually really means to do it successfully. Marketing for e-commerce, especially DTC, is all about maximizing your profits and without overspending on ads. Many campaigns aim for a target ROAS to balance the costs and customer reach. But what if you're hitting your ROAS target and still not seeing your desired profits? Now, this is where the issue often lies in selling the right products to the right people and showing it in the right way. For example, while some products in your store may generate a 2x ROAS, they may have varying profit margins from 10 to 25%. These differences significantly affect your earnings and your net take-home profit, especially when a customer chooses lower margin items instead of the higher ones. So whether you're selling on Shopify or even platforms like Amazon, merchandising and merchandising strategy is and always will be one of the most important things that you can think about. Now, we've talked about cost caps, we've talked about manual bidding and how to control your ad spend, especially on Facebook. But here's something that most e-commerce businesses miss, and it could be the reason why you're not scaling like you should be. Now, with paid acquisition and platforms like Meta, the algorithm decides which products get shown to your audience. And if a lower margin product performs well, it's going to push more spend towards it over more profitable items that might be available on your store. So even if you're hitting a good ROAS, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll see the profits that you want. And this is something a lot of e-commerce business owners tend to face. The solution to this, your merchandising strategy, your digital merchandising. By taking control and showcasing higher value products, you can steer your customers towards a much more profitable choice. And using a story-driven approach, you can then start seeing those profits rise without having to go ahead and recreate your creative strategy or your ads altogether. But before that, what is online merchandising and why do you actually need it? Well, merchandising is all about guiding your customers to the most profitable products. In a traditional retail store, it's pretty simple. You put the most highest margin items that you have in the front of your store window and the low margin ones in the back. This setup basically influences customer behavior by pushing them towards products that will make you the most money and also the products that they see most often. When it comes to online shopping, it works in a very, very similar way, just without the physical store. So instead of window displays, you're using paid ads to attract customers to your site. Once they're there, they're landing on your landing pages and your homepage, and those become the aisles for them to browse. And that's why choosing the right products for your ads and optimizing your site flow is crucial for success. And that's exactly what we'll be talking about in today's video. A great example of this is actually Nike, which sums up it perfectly. Promote the neons and sell the blacks. And what does that mean? Well, it's as simple as the phrase is. You use the most eye-catching products, the neon shoes, for example, to draw the customers into the store. And these are usually your best sellers, even if they aren't the most profitable. But once they're in your store, you can upsell them on the blacks, the more boring products that maybe don't grab as much attention, but do bring in the higher profit margins. So with that being said, how do you choose the right products for your ads? Now, unlike a physical store, your online shop depends on digital ads to bring in your customers. So how do you pick your neons for your ads, for your brand? Well, you have two main options to spotlight and two questions that you should ask yourself. One, it's your best-selling products. If you're not launching something new, start by focusing on your best sellers. Not sure what qualifies? Well, it's very simple. Check the sales volume across your products, pick the top 10 highest volume items, and feature those as your neons to grab attention and drive traffic to your website. The second thing being your highest gross margin products. Now, after you've identified your best-selling products, the next step is to determine which one of those have the highest gross margin. You can look at either your overall gross margin or focus on the last 60 days, aligning with most cash flow conversion cycles, since bills and ad spend, etc. can be typically put and is put on credit cards, credit lines, and so forth. I also want you to ask two key questions before choosing those products. Now, choosing the right products isn't just about your best sellers, it's about optimizing for profit, and always for profit. To do that, ask yourself these two key questions. Number one, what is your contribution margin? Your contribution margin shows just how much a product earns after covering its variable costs. Now, you can use this formula if you need to help you out. Contribution is equal to your revenue minus your variable costs plus your ad spend, and that gives you that. This actually helps you to see and visualize how much revenue each product actually makes after people have come in and bought. The second question being, what time period am I optimizing profitably for? Now, are you aiming for a quick revenue boost or a longer term plan? For short-term optimization, you might focus on the immediate returns, while a 60-day time frame provides you more sustainable growth and more aggressive growth if you wanted to scale up volume. Once you've filtered your best sellers by gross margin, calculated the contribution margins, and set your optimization goals, you can easily select the products that will then drive you more revenue. For example, if I was optimizing for 60 days, I would focus on the top sellers with the highest 60-day gross margin and contribution margin, and then that would be my neon. Just to kind of reiterate this example, I'll give an example of what we did for one of our case studies and one of our long-term brands, Dirty. Now, yes, you can find a ton of e-commerce merchandising strategies online. You can read articles about it, but I feel like one of the best ways to really understand it is to see it in action, which gives you a much clearer picture of how they actually work. So let's break it down by talking about the merchandising strategies that we used for a real brand, Dirty, which is in the supplement, nutrition, and mushroom space. Now, when we first started with this brand, they were doing okay when it came to merchandising, but they weren't quite hitting the profit margins that they deserved and wanted. So instead of increasing their ad spend, we focused on optimizing their e-commerce website to drive more conversions towards their more profitable products, which led to massive growth in just about 90 to 100 days. And here's exactly how we did it, using basically 3 strategic parameters. Now, the first one on this list was first order product profitability. Even for a high LTV, lifetime value brand like Dirty, for example, we needed the first product customers purchase to be highly profitable to us. Now, health and wellness brands often rely on a more longer term customer value, but we didn't want to sacrifice immediate profits in the process of doing that. The second thing we looked at was a higher AOV. We anticipate that our cost per acquisition would rise after implementing any of these strategies. So to offset this, we focused on boosting that AOV, the average order value. And this basically ensured that the store made more per order, even with the increased costs. And the last part was optimizing for the best sellers in the CPG space. Now, shoppers often try small packages or samples before committing to larger purchases. Even with a brand like Dirty, we noticed that single tins and small packets were the best sellers. And instead of eliminating these lower margin items, we worked them into our strategies and into our favor. Now, with these parameters, we were able to revamp the merchandising for the brand, and as a result, the profitability of the brand started to increase over 60 days, 90 days, 100 days, all the way up until 6 months. But how did we do this? So step one, we started with the homepage. Now, visual merchandising, you have to remember, is about guiding the customers towards your most profitable products. In a retail store, this means highlighting high value items and arranging shelves strategically, placing the right colors. But for e-commerce, your homepage is that storefront. So optimizing it for ease of use and profitability is key. Here are the 3 main areas to focus on when you do this. The first one being the actual banner or the hero image. Now, the hero banner is the first thing your customer sees, and it should spotlight your top product or your hero that we want customers to buy, not necessarily the ones that they want. Now, this banner should feature your main product along with your most compelling offer that encourages customers to add it to their cart as soon as possible. It's the start of the journey with your brand, so it needs to be grabbing attention. Now, following this is the collection slideshow. Now, this section is perfect for basically showcasing the best sellers or exclusive offers. And for a brand like this, we used it to promote bundles, which automatically increased our AOV. And if you sell products that can be bundled, this is a great way to drive your revenue by boosting your AOV up, because it really does offset the costs. In addition to that, we looked at subscription call to actions. Now, for products with lower margins, we basically moved them to the bottom of the page to reduce the visibility, but also added subscriptions as call to actions for automatic delivery. This approach basically improved our lifetime value because a customer who subscribes to us is on average staying at least 90 to 100 days versus a person who was purchasing one time was a lot lower than that. And what this means is we don't have to remove any products from our store or any SKUs, and instead we focus on the things that will give us more profits, and anything that doesn't give us as much profits, we put them on the back end and let LTV do its magic. Now, step 2 after the homepage was optimizing collection pages. Now, when we were promoting specific collections like bundles for this brand, we started by creating dedicated landing pages that we can then use to help improve our conversion rates for those particular products, and at the same time getting creatives that match those products. Just like we did with the homepage, these are a few key elements to optimize for to drive more sales to the products that you want. First up, prioritizing products above the fold. Now, we designed collection pages to prioritize higher AOV products, as I mentioned, and those were bundles right at the top. Now, these are the products we want customers to gravitate the most towards because they not only enhance their experience, but it also adds to our revenue and profitability. Now, interestingly, we actually placed the best-selling items further down the page despite their popularity. Why? Because even though these products were not featured prominently, they still attract a lot of attention and sell consistently because customers actively seek them out. Additionally, their longer lifetime value makes them vital to the overall profitability of the store without heavy promotion and trying to give discounts away. Now, this design of targeting people that we want for the products that we want and the bundles we want first, along with our bestsellers next, allowed us to have a healthy balance, pushing higher AOV bundles at the start, whilst also still letting customers go ahead and buy the products that do their job lower down the page and not impact our conversion rates too much. Next, we looked at the product sequence and the user experience overall. Now, we know that not every customer will jump straight into purchasing bundles. We know that. And many prefer to start with single items, maybe testing products before committing to larger orders. We understand that. And because we understand that, we didn't just completely get rid of them. We just simply placed them a little bit further down, as I mentioned. Now, while these are best sellers with strong demand, we're intentionally adding some friction here to their purchase process. This ensures that customers are exposed to the much higher value bundles first, while still offering the option to go ahead and explore these single products based on their buying habits. And this is why user experience is such an important process. You don't want to disturb this too much because ultimately, if you do, you're going to have a downset and actually offset yourself with lower conversion rates. Now, step 3 of this process was then going to the product pages themselves. A strong e-commerce brand needs dedicated product pages and has to have them that include descriptions, reviews, social proof, images, and so forth. But that being said, not all product pages should be treated equally. You can take strategic steps to make high value product pages more visible while limiting access to lower margin items. And that's exactly what you want to be doing or should be doing. But how do you remove the friction from product pages? First off, it's about bringing the attention to products that you want to promote, making it easy for customers to find those pages. For a brand like Dirty, what we basically did was we drove traffic directly to these pages via ad campaigns and optimized them for SEO, giving them the highest possible odds at success, ensuring they were easy to discover organically and through paid advertising. Now, this smooth, user-friendly experience encourages customers to return in the future as a result of this. And at the same time, how do you add friction to your product pages? Once you have your key product pages optimized and running, you can then start to include friction for less desirable and profitable products. Here's exactly how we did that. Now, step 1 on this list was decreasing the organic traffic to those pages. So unlike your high value items, avoid directing direct traffic to these pages without ads or SEO. Customers should only be able to find these pages through a search bar to increase that friction. And we can go a step further, add an AI-powered autocomplete feature that suggests more valuable products first as they start typing it in. Step 2, offer subscriptions. As we did with the homepage, offer subscription options for these lower margin items. Now, subscriptions are perceived as a better deal, but they help build consistent revenue and boost LTV. For products that are less profitable, that's exactly what I want to be getting out of them. And step 3, add product recommendations. And you guessed it, you want to be adding product recommendations to your higher value products versus your lower value products. So use the sidebar, recommendations all around the website, product page, collection pages to direct them back to the higher value items to offer bundles, deals, subscriptions to increase that AOV or lifetime value. And step 4, and this is such an easy one, use upsells. When customers are ready to check out, offer them upsells, complimentary low-cost products that can increase the total order value and the perception of value that they get from your brand. Another way we actually did this was by step 5, creating a free shipping threshold. Now, creating a shipping threshold basically encourages to add more to their cart to choose higher value products to hit that free shipping threshold, because everybody loves the term free. Now, researchers actually show that customers are willing to spend more money to avoid shipping costs, so leverage this tactic to increase your sales wisely. And finally, a few other must-have merchandising tactics or hacks, if you will. Cross-selling. If you've got products that aren't bestsellers but could still benefit your customers, cross-sell them throughout the shopping experience, whether that be pre-purchase or post-purchase. This can then help you boost your revenue and build customer loyalty by doing these kind of offers and upsells. Leverage positive reviews as another example to highlight these cross-sells and encourage more purchases for your store. Sales and promotions. Promotions are a staple in e-commerce marketing strategies, and you can use them to strengthen your merchandising strategy very, very easily. Whenever you run an exclusive sale, update your hero banner or any upsells or cross-sells to highlight this deal even further. So this is also actually a great way to manage inventory, because you can move products that need to be cleared out of inventory very, very easily by simply changing the merchandising of your store itself. And after you've gone ahead and done this, ask yourself, why should you merchandise your ad account itself? And the reason for that is very simple. Now that you know how to merchandise your online store, it's time to apply these tactics to your ad accounts themselves. Many e-commerce owners and brands don't actually realize that platforms like Meta and Google Analytics allow you to merchandise your store within the ad account itself. You can create specific ad campaigns for specific products or collections or SKUs that you want to be pushing more so versus other ones. You can then go ahead and use metrics from your ad account to strategically bid and improve your ROAS without having to increase ad spend. And here's an example of how you would go ahead and merchandise your ad account. First up, make sure you evaluate ROAS for each campaign, collection, SKU, and product that you're running to. Another one is ensure that you're reaching the right audience by analyzing the demographics and customer data. For example, you don't want to be serving most of your ad spend to 50 to 60-year-olds if the product is designed for a 25 to 45-year-old. In addition to that, use cost caps and manual bidding for better control of your ad spend. We have a separate video just talking about that we've done in the past in depth over here, which you can go ahead and check out if you haven't already. In addition to that, run A/B tests to determine which campaigns convert the best, leveraging all of the tools such as manual bidding, SKU separation, collection separation, and so forth. Learn to keep, scale, or kill campaigns based on daily and weekly metrics, and hold yourself accountable to the forecast that you are trying to hit. And that brings me to the end. One of the biggest keys to a successful e-commerce business is merchandising both your store and ad accounts to promote the right products to the right customers at the right time. If you need help with your e-commerce merchandising, reach out to our team today for our free in-depth audit and 2-hour brainstorm session for your brand, and the team can hopefully help you go in the right direction at the very least. My name is Arsalan. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have, please don't forget to hit that like button. We always appreciate the love and support, and leave a comment if you were unsure about any of the points that I discussed today that I can go ahead and then help you with further. Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.